all celebrate with you, and you have put so much of yourselves into it, and cannot thank you enough. So kudos to you for the planning that you've done. But even though they've planned this in a short 6 months, this day has actually been in the works for way longer than 6 months. More than 3 decades longer than 6 months. You see, I'm Jodi's younger sister, and where should I stand? See, obviously Jodi is the one who has knowledge of mics and stage presence. I am not that. She got those genes. So. All right. All right. Hit me out. Thank you. All right. Just to make it fun. So this day has been in the works for more than 3 decades. See, I'm Jodi's younger sister, and some of my earliest memories are actually thinking about this day, Jodi's wedding day. And imagine a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, that's how we were, putting white towels on our head and taking measured steps to very poorly sung renditions of Here Comes the Bride, largely because of my harmony to Jodi's melody, but that's okay. It started then, and we had wedding Barbies. We would anxiously wait for those televised weddings where there was Diane Charles or Bo and Hope on Days of Our Lives. Like we loved them all, and it didn't stop there. Jodi has always loved all things related to romance. In middle school, it was countless hours singing romantic teen pop songs. Like, I have Debbie Gibson's Lost in Your Eyes, like, burnt into my brain. Dad, I'm sure you do too. Romantic TV shows, and then of course, romantic movies. And Jodi still loves romantic movies. We now call them romantic comedies, sometimes called rom-coms. And we didn't just watch them, we devoured them. We spent hours studying these movies and committing them to memory. And the quote that Jodi had me read earlier from When Harry Met Sally, I didn't need the piece of paper. I mean, we've watched that, and all those iconic scenes in movies, from Say Anything with Lloyd Dobler holding up the boombox to When Harry Met Sally, we knew them quite well. And in fact, when I was trying to come up with an idea for a toast, I asked both Jodi and Russell for their favorite romantic movies. And I had this thought in my head that I could somehow come up with a theme, that they would probably have some movies in common that they liked. No, not so much. And in fact, I learned quite a bit about Russell. So it took weeks of Russell, can you send me those movies? And when I finally got it back, it was a questionable list. We'll just leave it at that. Jodi, on the other hand, within a matter of hours, didn't send me 3, didn't send me 5, sent me a list of 12, rank ordered with an ellipsis at the end, indicating that there were probably an infinite number behind that. And they ranged from, of course, When Harry Met Sally and many other beautiful movies with the New York magical backdrop, to others that I won't go into now. But I call out these things not to talk about Jodi's taste in movies, but to highlight what I think is a really important point, especially on a day like today. And that's that Jodi is a hopeless romantic. And she's been thinking about her own happily ever after and this day for a very long time, with very high expectations. And I cannot be happier that it's Russell who is here on this day, and the person who she is going to spend her happily ever after with. He is thoughtful, he is kind, he has swept her off her feet since day 1 at Kenny's Castaways in New York, thanks Karen, and has continued to every day since. And what's amazing to me is that they've created their own beautiful romantic comedy with a magical New York City backdrop that can rival any of the ones that Jodi and I loved so much and still do. And I want to just welcome you to the family, and I'm so happy that you will be Jodi's partner. And before I close, and before we lift a glass and hit the food, I do want to lighten it back up and give you 5 very short, lighthearted pieces of advice. And these pieces of advice are based on the very high expectations that Jodi may have because of these crazy, unrealistic movies that we love so much. So I'll quickly go through them. I'm getting pushed off stage. 5, you gotta love going shopping with her. And when you do, you should likely serenade her in the middle of the mall or whenever a karaoke machine presents itself. That's number 5. Number 4, and this one's a little tough. You have got to develop the uncanny ability to find her in a crowded city at a very precise moment just to give her a kiss, preferably in inclement weather or at the stroke of midnight. Number 3, even though her family may be sometimes quirky and a little off color, you've always got to find them endearing. That one. Number 2, 5 words. Lift moves from Dirty Dancing. Yeah. And last, number 1, you can never go wrong with a grand romantic gesture paired with an emotionally charged piece of music. So before I kicked off the stage, this is the interactive part of the toast. So, you stand up.